DeWitt, you're a civil rights attorney. You deal with police brutality cases, and I'm very concerned about the third-degree murder charge in this case for the reasons I mentioned in part, and that is it was out of the case and then back in the case. And the key issue that is now before the Supreme Court in Minnesota is this language, and it's all right here. This is the statute. If you want to look this up, it is the homicide-suicide statute, section 609-195 in Minnesota. It requires that any act be eminently dangerous to others, plural, others. We've focused on this need for a depraved mind, and everybody looking at this might say, well, I think it's pretty clear he had a depraved mind. Look what he did for how long he did it. He could have stopped with that knee on George Floyd's neck much sooner than he did. That isn't the critical, pivotal piece of this legislation. This is about driving a car into a crowd of onlookers. This is about shooting a gun into a crowded building, not really having an identified victim or target. So, DeWitt, how do you see that playing out in the Court of Appeal if, by chance, Chauvin is convicted of that third-degree murder?
Michael, that is a great question, and I would agree that as the facts are presented, it seems like third degree might be a shoo-in, right? Everybody's talking about the depraved heart. It's probably easy to consider that given the facts of this case, or at least the facts that have been presented to the jury. However, you raised a great point. In the Mohammed Noor trial, right? Or they agreed to have third-degree murder charged against that officer in 2019, I believe it was, and that kind of set the stage for the third-degree murder charge to be put back into this trial in this case. Now, the Supreme Court overturns that, then it looks and Chauvin is convicted on the third degree. Then maybe Chauvin's conviction goes away. I think the Supreme Court has to understand the implications of that, and I don't know what they'll do, but certainly they're going to be considering that implications. And I would imagine if that were the circumstance, that Chauvin was convicted of the third-degree murder charge, and then the Supreme Court of Minnesota overturned the ability to charge a third-degree murder charge where there's only one person, I think that you're going to see mass protests.
Yeah, that is the nightmare scenario, and it really comes down to whether or not the legislation was intended for an action against an identified person, and we clearly have an identified person in this case. So, hey guys, great stuff. Stay